What is up, everybody? Welcome to the beautiful Thursday Q&A. Today is July 14. I was having a conversation with my wife a little bit ago, right before this, and I was letting her know what was about to come up in the world and, again, politics. So she's like, hey, babe. Anyway, so that's something else. But I was, there's the next level of fear is going to come into the world. So her point was like, man, what an opportunity to be able to go help the world. People they're hurting already, but we're gonna go to the next level bullshit, so the pain is gonna be even greater. So anyway, she just reminded me of how much help is needed out there in the world, and that's why I do this. My goal is to give you guys tools, nuggets, hope, information, just tools. It's all about tools, right? As a mechanic, he ain't gonna do shit without a toolbox of this wrench, that hammer, this voltage tester, etc. A mechanic needs all that stuff to be able to fix a car. So for you to make you grow, to get you to your next level, for you to have happiness on the inside, you got to have the tools, and that's just bottom line. So with all of the clients that we've ever worked with, it's all about empowering them, empowering you to be able to handle shit as it comes up. Shit's gonna come up. You guys know it, right? Stuff just comes up. Whether you attracted it or not, that's a different story. It still comes up, and the question is, what do you do with it? Do you know how to deal with it? Do you know how to get through it? Do you know how to navigate? Do you know what to focus on? Do you know how to walk away? Do you know how to love in a moment of panic, for example? So all these beautiful things, that's my goal, to give you guys tools. So again, my goal for all of you guys, if you're new here, if you've been here 1,000 times, etc., if you're watching this on replay, the goal is very simple. Whatever you are struggling with, you bring to this space, you bring the question to this Q&A. That's the purpose. You are the Q, I am the A. And my goal is to be able to answer you and give you tools necessary to deal with it, to navigate through life, to get you to a badass place called happy and fucking free. How's that? Wouldn't it be great to wake up every morning and just be happy and fucking free and not have the shit, the mental clutter, the anxiety, the panic, the stress, like, fuck, I got to do all this stuff today? What if it was all enjoyable? What if you learned how to flip the script on all these things and you're able to just go through life in a state called zero fucks? Yep, very possible. It's doable. All right, so Janet, first question. How would you suggest respond to my son who seems to be critical toward me about what I say, etc.? Well, so number one, anytime somebody is critical of anybody else, they are not in a happy state. When we are not happy, we are not fulfilled in some place of life. So something in our life, whether it's relationships, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's friends, whether it's money, business, health, it could be literally the way we look, it could be anything. So when we are not full here, then we're going to look to compensate for that void. Let's say it's 30% empty of just lack of something, belief in whatever, right? So I don't know your son, but I'm going to go there and then I'll share with you what you need to do or what you want to do. So your son is always going to look to, and this is where bullying happens. That's why bullying today is at an all-time high. It's never been this crazy, but it's this crazy because you have to look at the kids nowadays that are attending school and start doing some inventory. How many of these kids are vaccinated? And the vaccines fuck with everything in the system. And I'm not talking about the 19 vaccine. I'm talking about immunization. I'm talking about all of them. So we have to figure out where your son is and why he's responding. So the bullying concept in the world today, it's the same because these kids are fucking empty. Most of them are on some kind of a pill. They're on, somebody told them that they're too much energy. They got to get on Ritalin. They're not good enough. You're a piece of shit. Learning deficit disorder. I mean, my God, how deep does it go today, right? So what they do is, because they're not feeling happy inside, the poison has to transfer. So if I'm able to get my pain onto you somehow, then that's going to justify my blueprint for existence, meaning pain. So I'm in pain. I'm not conscious that it's pain, but I feel like shit. I'm down, I'm depressed, I'm not feeling powerful. If I can get that pain, that poison into you, then the mirror effect says, yep, that's right. It's called unhappiness. It makes sense. And now I have significance and identity around the fact that what's in here is real. So his job and bullying, because he's doing nothing but bullying. He's looking to bully you. If you let him, that's a different story. We'll get to you in a minute. But back to him. For him to get the poison out is everything. If you react, then you're giving him the mirror effect saying, yep, I knew it. I was right. My mom's a piece of shit. She's a monster. Controlling. What a bitch. Right? Look at her hair. It'll give him significance, and he'll identify with the pain. And it's nothing but vibration. It could be anybody. You just happen to be the closest, and you're probably around each other all the time. So who's he going to go after? Who's he going to attack? It's going to be you. And obviously, I would have 1,000 questions around this to really understand more, to get very specific. But from a general perspective of human behavior, why do you give a fuck? And it's a tough one. This is a tough one, but why do you give a shit? And your answer is going to be, well, he's my son. He should respect me. He should look up to me. I'm his mom, right? You have all these stories around. If you understand where he's at, and this is that's why I took some time to explain to you where he's at. He's just very unhappy. Happy people don't do unhappy things, right? Unhappy people do unhappy things. So if you understand that he's unhappy and he's just doing unhappy behavior, and you're the closest thing to him, then it's like, that's really nothing to do with you. You know that concept that other people's opinion is none of my business? Unfortunately, he's your son, and I get the pain. I get the concept around it. But if you can understand that he's just in a ball of pain, would you see him different when he attacks, when he verbally abuses, when he looks to put you down, when he's spreading the poison? Could you see him different in that moment? Instead of making it about you, he's putting me down. Look what he's doing to me. I'm not saying that you're victimizing yourself. I'm just sort of assuming what's happening. If you can just step back, take a deep breath, and say, fuck, that's my baby. That's my baby hurting. And imagine millions of kids around the world hurting this bad, and they take it out on fucking drugs and alcohol, and they could be 10, 11, 9. I've heard stories of 9, 10, 11, 12, 15-year-olds freaking alcoholics already because the pain is so great, and they end up in suicide levels, and they end up in drugs, and they end up hooked on phonics, and they end up in fights, and they end up in all kinds of just negative behavior because mommy and daddy didn't stop to say, what the fuck are we doing? Because it always comes down to mommy and daddy. And please take this from a loving place. I'm not blaming you. Having a general conversation about humanity as a whole. If mommy and daddy stopped for a minute and really figured out what is entering my kid's space, and I'm, again, from vaccines to pills, drugs, even Advil. People are like, oh, he's got knee pain. I'm just going to give him Advil. Study what's in Advil. Who makes Advil? Pfizer. Right? And you keep going. What foods? Everything has vibration. So if your kid is eating hot dogs, burgers, fried shit, French fries, loaded up on coke and not cocaine, but soda or soda pop, as you guys call it in the Midwest, whoever is here, that kid's going to be jacked the fuck up. These kids, the human body doesn't know what to do with these chemicals. So it reacts. What it does in the freaking DNA, these chemicals in the fried foods and the low vibratory hell level vibration, think about it. You're putting low level vibration into the system, video games, Netflix, movies. We think, oh, it's a great movie done by, Joe Schmo in Hollywood. No, it's there to fucking program your kid. Oh, it's just Disney. Disney's one of the most evil empires on the planet. What's going into your kid's space? And again, I'm going deeper on your kid because if we understand what the kid is going through, then we can have different compassion. I'm not saying to put up with this bullshit. I'm saying to have different compassion and help him. Help him feel better about himself. Help him get him off the Netflix, get him off the video games, get him away from the wrong kids. If he's hanging around the wrong kids, yank him so fucking fast. It's like cancer. How fast do you want to knock out cancer? Are you going to dilly-dally? Oh, we're just going to take our time and just see what happens. No, you're going to attack. This is the purpose. So the biggest thing I can tell you about what to do and how to handle these situations, number one, don't react. Don't react. Every single time you react, you're telling that behavior it's working. So even though you're thinking, how dare you talk to me like that, right? That's a trigger. It's a reaction. It's a, how dare you disrespect me? From those positions, you're telling that kid, damn it, this stuff is working. It's all subconscious. He's not consciously thinking, I'm going to go get spread poison. I'm going to get it back from mom. It's going to be the mirror effect. It's going to make sense of my blueprint. I win. No, it's all subconscious. And it's addictive. This is the problem. That behavior for him is addictive because every time he does it, cortisol gets released from the brain. It goes into the body. The chest gets all, it feels great. And then guess what? The more he does it, the more the body says, ooh, I want to hit. I want to hit. I want to hit. And that's where these kids get into trouble. So the biggest thing I can tell you is don't react. Find your way. Many ways to breathe, learn how to breathe, learn how to stay in a state of peace. Very powerful, great book, Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. I've listened to it and read it, gosh, at least a couple of 200-300 times. I don't even know. It's been out so long, and the last 20 years I've been through it forward and backwards. Very, very powerful book, great information to keep you in a state of peace in the moment of now. And just love the fuck out of this kid. The kid doesn't feel loved. And it's not about you. That's the problem. It's not about you. It's all about him. He doesn't feel loved. There's an emptiness. So if you can find that emptiness without, as parents, we want to fix. What is wrong with you? Get your shit together, right? And that doesn't work. Maybe it worked in the 50s and 60s, but I don't know. But today it's different. I think kids today are need in a different way because they've been so detached from human interaction. Today we text. We don't call grandma. We text grandma. If grandma doesn't have a phone, a smartphone, she's not getting shit. Otherwise, I'm not calling grandma. So the phone communication stopped. Thank God for some Zooms now, or FaceTime, or Facebook this. We get some FaceTime, but it's all gone to text, and these kids are just consumed in these TVs and screens and games and fucking now metaverse. I mean, how evil. The only purpose is to take their soul. How's it working out? You follow me? That kid needs love. I hope that answered it. My son is 19. Oh gosh, yeah. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit about the age, but at 19 he's already formed in certain ways, right? So he already knows himself. Sorry, take that back. He doesn't know himself. He knows his patterns, his patterns are formed. His emotional quotient is already built. And his whole life is being created through this filter of he's empty. So same rules apply. I would want to know at 19, is he hooked on anything? Is he abusing drugs, alcohol? How's his behavior outside of you? Is he nice to everybody else, but mom's a bitch? You follow me? So I would have a lot more questions around it. Bam. I often ask myself, did I teach him by my example? Well, yeah. So unfortunately, kids do what they see, right? They're monkey see, monkey do. Absolutely. It's learned behavior from the moment they're born to the age of 7. Everything that kid was around, they absorbed into their system. So today he's literally acting out everything that happened between 0 and 7. So if mommy and daddy fought, if there was a conversation where, he's too fat, he's too skinny, or not good enough, he'll never make the baseball team, he'll never grow up to be anything, he's too short, too skinny, his hair's fucked up, he's ugly today, literally anything. Or mom saying, to the husband, you're a piece of shit, you fucking alcoholic. That gets ingrained into, it literally gets absorbed into this DNA. So today, the filter that your son is doing life in is through all of that shit. So was there disrespect in the home? For example, did dad disrespect mom? Is he repeating a certain pattern? Where is dad? Right? So I would have 1,000 fucking questions, but great question. That was awesome. I have 2 daughters and they're amazing, but we deal with stuff, right? We deal with their stuff. There's always stuff. It's what do you do with it? Are you making it about you? Are you making it about them? And again, as me, I'm dad, type A personality, strong, loud, boisterous, and I'm also a fucking coach. Holy shit. And I get the comments in my home is, Dad, don't coach me right now. Just love me. I'm like, fuck. Shit, damn it. So we all have the need, the want to help, to fix quick. Well, it's my baby, it's my son, it's my daughter, right? Not understanding that we're looking to fix because we want to fix. They didn't ask for fixing yet. So when they say, help me, what do? The door's open. All right. So the question is this. He feels like there is a certain way to do things. So he is having some issues with his girlfriend not picking up her clothes or putting scissors back in the right drawer. They have been together for about 10 years. How can he get her to do the simple things he's asking? He has asked her multiple times to do these simple tasks. Well, Billy, you fucked up by asking the question. So here's the thing. You don't change people, brother. If you go into a relationship looking to change that person, you're telling that person they're not good enough. And you want that person to respect you? Think about it. Like right now, like take a deep breath and like really think about it. Because you're saying, hey, you got to do shit my way because only my way makes sense. But she's like, fuck you. I'm a free spirit. I'll leave the scissors wherever the fuck I want and I'll pick them up tomorrow. True? But you're saying, no, because that's going to drive me crazy. So when you say it's going to drive me crazy, this is about me, meaning you, Billy. So when you first met her, was it love? Was there love? Because see, the funky part about love doesn't have boundaries. Let go, let God. That simply means that there are no rules in love. I mean, yeah, don't cheat on me, don't, there's a respect, right? But in regards to doing shit my way because otherwise I will have a bitch fit, think about it for a minute. What you're telling her by do shit my way is that you don't approve of her and you want her to be happy in this relationship, right? So if we got away from her for a minute, like whatever her name is, we'll call her Mary. So let's say Mary, she, would you say scissors and what else? Oh, she doesn't pick up her clothes. We can have a conversation about Mary as to why she's not doing the clothes after 10 years. And I would have questions. Did she used to? Was there a time when she automatically cared after herself, picked up the clothes hamper, folded shit nicely, put the scissors away or put whatever she's used away where it belongs, etc.? Was there a time when that actually took place? And then if it never was there, why the fuck's it taking you 10 years to wake up to it? If it was there at one point and it changed, then we have to look at when did it change? What happened? What triggered it? Where did she... Because there are really two options here of somebody doing that. She's either doing it because she just doesn't give a fuck. She could be just this wild, free spirit, hippie type personality. Probably a query, whatever. I'm not going to go into that. But she could be just this wild, hippie, freaking flowers in her hair. And yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Whether I do it today, tomorrow, it's all peace and love and happiness. One option. The other option is maybe there are three, I don't know. So, but second option is something happened to where she stopped giving a fuck. And this could be a negative, right? When you stop giving a fuck, you have to now question, did she stop giving a fuck about herself? Like her self-esteem went to shit because something happened. Something always has to happen. People don't like drop self-esteem or respect for the self or confidence. That shit just doesn't go away. It's a progressive erosion of the inside because of something. And if that's the case, and she's just literally like maybe lost hope, is there depression? Depression will also do that. Depression, when you just lost hope, like it doesn't matter from a different perspective because life doesn't matter. So now it's a different level of fuckery. Or are you, Billy, the dictator to where you're saying, hey, Mary, for me to be happy, for me to be content, for me to accept you, you got to pick up your fucking clothes, put the scissors away, have dinner on the table at a certain time, wash my car, mow the lawn. And if that's the case, to where she's now doing these things by leaving clothes out, scissors, whatever, to fuck with you, that's a different level. And it's now a different level in the relationship, because she's not necessarily doing it because she's lost hope. She's lost hope in you and the relationship. So I'm answering it in so many different facets, because these are all the options, and I'm sure we can come up with more. Let me take a sip here of my sponsor. Oh, that's so cool. So, this show is sponsored by Big Man's Brew, because I've gotten a few cases of this beer and glasses. Amazing. If you guys haven't had Big Man's Brew, I think it's bigmansbrew.com. So, Billy, I'm going to go back to meaning to you for a minute, because we can talk about her. We can talk about all this shit. The biggest thing that should be tackled here is, why is her behavior in this specific conversation not putting shit away, which means she's not listening to you. So you're definitely taking the daddy role. You're treating her like a child. She's not going to put out. I'm just saying. So why do you need these things to be in such specific ways, in your way? Communism doesn't work. Obviously, it looks good on paper, but it doesn't work. A dictatorship doesn't work. You guys you're two humans looking to have one relationship. It's one ship with two humans that relate. So it takes two to tango. It takes mutual respect. Fucking let her be, right? That's the easy way out. That would be the simple fix. Like, honey, I love you so much. I set you free, meaning what? Let go, let God. Do whatever the fuck you want. If the scissor needs to be there for a day or a month, woo-hoo. My wife is happy. I mean, think about that for a minute. But for you, it's not about her happiness. It's about your happiness, because it has to be my way. And the funky part is the deeper part. It's not even about happiness for you. It's about your blueprint that's in here, which now takes us to the place of why. Why do you need this shit to be in such specific ways? And when did this start? Did it start just with her? Has it always been there? What did you see in childhood? What developed these behaviors? Because this is, some controlling shit. If you came here looking for an answer as to how to fix her, you all fucked up. Sorry. So that's my answer there. And obviously we can talk about this topic for forever, because relationships are so powerful, but so intricate and so deep, and so many levels, so many layers in this onion called a relationship, because you have two human beings that each come in with behavioral patterns, positive, negative, right? And all of a sudden we're supposed to coexist as one ship that relationship. Right? And then you have kids, and then you have money, and then you have work, and then you have friends, and then you have patterns that show up that are mostly unconscious. See, what's interesting, Billy, is you're very conscious that she does these things, but you're not conscious as to why you require them. True? And the only power is for you to figure out you, not her. She has to do her. You have to do you. You got to figure you out as to what sets you free, because that doesn't set you free. That keeps you in a fucking prison, right? You don't feel good when you see it. It's a immediate trigger. All your fucking chest and your belly knots, and things get going in here, and tightness of chest, and your breathing and heart rate goes up, and you're like, that fucking bitch, she's all this dialogue, all the dialogue. This is the evil. The ego mind is the evil. This is the Satan, the enemy. Oh, the fucking judgment. The opposite of all of that would be just love. I just love her. She's fucking perfect. Thank you, honey, for still being with me. Thank you for accepting me for who I am, as I accept you for who you are. And earlier I asked you, like, when you guys first met, were you in love, right? It was just free love. So what the fuck changed, right? And it's not hard to go back to the days when you guys were just in love. It's not hard. It takes some work, but it's not hard. You have to want it. Because in the beginning, at least, however, because, the honeymoon period is called the honeymoon period because it's fucking sweet, but it only lasts 1 moon, 1 month. And then shit kicks in and fuck you, take out the trash. What? I did the dishes last night. It's like, really, hold on, go back to the first 2 weeks. Remember the first 2 weeks? Oh, my honey bunny, flowers, candy, lingerie, sex, woohoo. Date night all the fucking time. But then it changed. Why? What happened? Why did you change it? Because you got to take personal responsibility. So my big answer to you, Billy, is for you to take responsibility for your shit. And we get in life what we are. And I'll wrap with this on this topic. So who you are, and I know you're new to this, or at least to me. I don't know if you've self-developed or if you've listened to this type of conversation before, but it's all vibration. So just like a battery, you have a 12-volt battery with so many milliamps, and so these are nothing but vibrations. And you have bigger batteries and smaller batteries and skinny batteries and fat batteries and car batteries and then airplane batteries, blah blah blah. But these are all different levels, sizes of power. So these levels of vibration, whatever level you're at, Billy, you're going to get. So who you are, you're going to get. This ether, this space, this field is nothing but a mirror. It's like, but I need her to do some fucking shit. And it's like, yep, the field, God, the universe says, yeah, you're right. Yep, you need her to do that kind of shit. So you're going to get back exactly what you are. If you are love, you're going to get back love. If you're all accepting, you're going to get back all acceptance. If you are free, you're going to get back freedom. But if you're controlling, you're going to get back control. Because you're controlling, she's controlling you now by leaving the fucking scissors out. How's it working? But you're saying, fuck you, you better change, woman, or else I'm the man of this house. Well, that doesn't work out too well. So just remember who you are in your subconscious mind, you're going to get more of. Because this whole thing is nothing but a fucking mirror. You're going to get it back. Law of karma, whatever you want to call it. So, we've talked about this a lot, the concept of response versus reaction. You know that reaction actually takes energy? And all negativity. My saying is negativity costs energy and sometimes finances and sometimes all kinds of shit, but positivity pays. Negativity costs, positivity pays. So responding doesn't take any energy whatsoever because you're in a neutral state of not giving a fuck. You just respond. You're an asshole. Okay. But you're an asshole could also be fuck you. You're an asshole. Right? Trigger, react. And that's where we get into trouble. Beth saying, working with Andre, I've learned not to give a shit of what my children think of me. Yes, you did. When I stopped caring, they came flying back. Great point. Beautiful point. Great point. So when Beth stopped giving a fuck about what her kids thought of her, I mean, she literally just stopped giving a fuck and pulled away and just she took care of her. She became number one. All of a sudden, they all came crawling back. They reacted at first, oh my God, mom's pulling away. Why are you being such a bitch? But then, magic, because it's just vibration. You respect you. The mirror effect brings you what? Respect. All right, how to stop Jacqueline Jarvis. What's up, Jacqueline Jarvis? How to stop reacting? I can't stop. Of course you can. So reacting is very, very simple. Reaction is judgment. Reaction is you not being your self-esteem. So, gosh, there's so many layers of this motherfucker too. When we react, we're not good enough. That's bottom line. If people that react, they don't feel too great about themselves. They're holes in this thing called the subconscious mind, the spirit. When we are, self-esteem is through the roof, confident, loving, I respect me, I honor me, I am number one. Good luck trying to trigger that motherfucker, right? You can't. That person can't react because there's no trigger, there's no hook. But when a person has emptiness and I attack the emptiness, guess what's going to happen? The emptiness is going to fucking hit back and it's going to get more emptiness and it's going to justify why it's empty. Same thing we talked about the sun earlier. Same idea. So yes, you can stop. Stop saying, number one, you're saying I can't stop. Change that verbiage. You have to flip the script into what you want. So the first part was great, how to stop reacting. So when you start asking the brain question, the brain goes to look for answers. This is a survival mechanism. That's it. You ask your questions, hey, how do I stop reacting? Or even better, how do I learn to respond? Focus on what you want. The brain will take you there. Guaranteed. Jeffrey Moore. What's up, Jeffrey Moore? Mary probably feels like nothing she does is good enough anyway, so what's the point? Correct, and that's one of the options, right? If you lose hope, what's the point? Very much an option. Michael, Danielle, you're saying she's not the free spirit, then we got to figure out. He's not the dictator expecting dinner and stuff. Great. So then what is... you are taking the daddy role. Got it. Well, start spanking. Maybe spanking is the solution. I don't know. I think that's funny. So... yeah, so then, Billy, we got to go back to you to figure out what is this and when did it start? You guys have never answered me as to when this started. So were you looking to be her daddy? Does she call you daddy? Does she call you papi? Is she Hispanic? I don't know. These are the things I want to know because I know you guys live in Modesto. Could be Hispanic. If she calls you papi, I don't know. Anyway, I'm looking to make light or keep it light because this stuff could be very heavy for people. So I interject with humor because it releases the pressure from the brain. It's like, okay, we can keep talking because haha, funny. I mean, he insulted me, but he's fucking funny. This guy, he's good. So why are you daddy? Why are you playing the role? And did she have daddy issues? Are you looking to compensate to make her feel good? Because there could be a underlying positivity, like her dad was a fucking prick, so I'm going to show her the real way to, that daddy should have respected her, but it's not your job. You're the husband. You're the guy, fucking her. You follow me? So we got to figure out the daddy role, because daddy would never, right, some states, but in California, there's no crossing that line. You follow? So we got to figure out why you're taking on the daddy role and just finding a way for you to release that, because as soon as you release it, she'll stop. I guarantee you, as soon as you stop the need, you flip that need into, wow, I'm so fucking blessed to have a wife that has hands, that is able to pick up scissors. Mind blown. Then now you go into gratitude and what other things can she do with her hands? Whoa. You follow? So you start flipping that script and then just let go. Oh, man, magic will happen. The scissors will get placed away. She'll pick up her clothes. I fucking guarantee it. Guarantee it. Tasha Chapman, what would be the best way for someone to deal with a childhood trauma? Then as you grow older, other similar traumas have added to the overall impact. I kind of know your stance on counseling. So what is a starting point for someone if they don't do counseling? So listen, we're all nothing but stories, right? So everything this trauma, whatever the trauma was, right? We've all had various levels of trauma in our childhood, in our life. Cool. What you do with it is up to whom? It's up to you. So let's say you were raped, molested, held at gunpoint, spanked, verbally abused, beat the fuck out of. Trauma. See, it's just a situation. The problem, though, is this. We are taught through society to talk about it, to talk about the trauma, though you should have seen what happened to me. I was this. And as we talk about these things, we start creating stories around them as to how painful it was and how horrible it was. And I was the victim. Oh, you should have seen. Oh, woe with me. So people that hold on to trauma, please understand the first rule is that it's choice. They don't have to. It's the past. As soon as we talk about it, we just brought it back into the present. So it's choice. You can't get rid of the memory. But to focus on it, even for a split second, just to focus on it for a split fucking second, it's choice. Nobody's forcing you. You better focus right now on that moment when you were raped. No, that I have never heard of that, right? So, which means that it's fucking choice. So now this trauma, because once again, society teaches us that's, it's traumatic experience. Fuck you. There's no trauma. It's a fucking situation. But if society would have taught us like, hey, it was just a thing, let it go, move on. Here's how you can meditate through it or learn how to breathe and how to forgive and how to forgive yourself. And the next 90 days you'll be completely free of it. Yeah, it'll still be there, but you'll be just fine and life's going to be beautiful. If society taught us that, oh my God, would there still be traumatic experience from the past? Fuck no. It would not exist. It's not possible. But we're taught this behavior. We are taught this uncertainty because when we don't know that there is a solution or when we don't know that it could have been just fine, then we know we have a problem. So society says you now have a problem. You've been diagnosed with this bullshit. Here are some pills. Here's, go drink more, go blah, blah, blah. We can talk about that forever. So back to trauma. So there are more traumas, right, in adulthood or after childhood. Well, what's the fucking difference? This person did the same thing as they did as a child. They just stacked traumas. So when you focus on trauma, what are you going to get more of? You get what you are. This field is nothing but a mirror. You blow, you're going to get blow back. You smile, you're going to get smile back. And I know it's a weird concept. Andre, you're fucking crazy. There's nothing here. There's nothing. I mean, it's like oxygen. There's nothing here. What do you mean it's a fucking mirror? It's an energy. It's vibration. So back to what this person can do. I don't know the age. I don't know what the situation really is, but realizing, well, so first of all, get help. If there's no help, think about it. Nothing can change when nothing changes. So if we are looking to have the same thoughts every single day, but we're like, something better fucking change, but we're having the same thoughts every day and doing the same thing every day, but we expect a different outcome. Think about it. Think about it. We're doing the same job every day and I'm making, $50 an hour, $50 an hour, $50 an hour, $50 an hour. I don't make a change in job. I don't look to grow in the job, but I expect $60 an hour. It's not possible. So this person, whoever this person is, has to find a way to get some kind of fucking help. For example, the first thing they got to do is figure out like, shit, I'm not happy. How do I get happy? My next series that I'm creating right now is called Get Happy, Stay Happy. It'll be a course. It'll be all kinds of stuff. Did I mention there's a book coming? There's a book coming. Once this person gets to a place of shit, I'm done with feeling this way. Is there a better way? Like, how are happy people happy? Like, these questions have to pop up in their dynamic before some kind of change takes place, right? We cannot interfere with someone's anything because what's the rule? Unsolicited advice is an attack on the spirit. So as parents, this is a great one. Like, as parents, we're like, you need to do this. You should do that. We're coaching. And they're like, yeah, I'm not open. So you're talking to the wall. Then you get pissed. Like, what the fuck? Why not? What is wrong with you? They're not open. When somebody's not open, they're not fucking open. So the only thing we can do is be there, love them until the day hopefully comes up to where like, I want something different. Okay, let's go to work. So, yeah. And people with traumas are victims. They chose to be victims. I'm just telling you where the state of this vibration is. To come out of victimhood, because it's all about woe with me. Poor me. You get the point? So get them some kind of help. YouTube, guess what? Probably billions of videos on self-help. Trauma, how to deal with trauma. Go to YouTube, how to deal with trauma, and they'll get something. I want to be happy. I don't know how to be happy. YouTube. So Tasha, as from a blanket sort of statement, 50,000 feet up, I guess that's my answer. With a lot more information, obviously I can go deeper, but for now, that's what I got. Can we work it out on our own if we can't work with the other person? Jacqueline, I'm not sure which topic you're referring to. If you're referring to... Oh, to reaction, to reacting as opposed to responding. Listen, what the other person does is none of your fucking business. Unless you have boundaries. And boundaries come from self-respect. So when I respect me enough, I create boundaries where it's like the people in my life cannot do ABC or can only do ABC, right? So you create boundaries. So if you cross that boundary, guess what? Fuck off. So that's up to you. But as far as you looking to change the other person or for them not to trigger you, and this is what happens in relationships, and this is where divorces fucking happen all day long, they're looking to get the other person to stop triggering them. Ding, 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 ding. Not going to happen. You're going to make it worse because what you're looking to do is to change the other person. So you're going to get the mirror effect is going to be what? More opportunity to change the person. So it's a never ending cycle and just gets worse and worse and worse. And it fucking grows because you're back on the hamster wheel. And it's like, oh, fuck, we give up. That's it. It's not working. It's not working, damn it. Because I can't change you. You're a piece of shit. You don't love me in order to change for me. So Brandy's saying losing hope is not an option. It ends tragically. That's what we are dealing with. This loss of a friend. Yeah. It's a very, very low vibration. If you know the map of consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, you know, losing hope, depression, anger, that's the pit of hell. He can't recall when it started. Yeah. So she has a dad, but I want to know what that relationship is about. Still doesn't matter. I want to know when. So like like if I was coaching Michael, Billy, these are the questions. When did it start? You're saying, I don't know. And I'm going to say, bullshit. Find it. So Billy right now would tell you, like, go to work. Back up. Figure out exactly your relationship. Take it year by year. Like, oh, we met in, because it's 10 years. So you met in 2012. Got it. How was 2012? Oh, blissful. How was 2013? Well, this happened, that happened, And how did arguments, when did arguments start? When did the disconnect start? When did sex change? When, you follow me? Did alcohol come into the picture? Did drugs come into the picture? Did any kind of physical violence? We need inventory of exactly what happened. And then you're going to say, motherfucker, shit. And you'll see that this has nothing to do with her, and it's 100% up to you, and it's 100% on you and about you. You are not getting something here that you're looking to force. And that never fucking works. He said he believes everything has a place. She just won't. Yeah, as long as you believe that you need to control that, you, Billy, are fucked, because she won't do it. That's all. Everything does have a place, but why do you need to control it to the point to where after 10 years, and this did not start 10 years ago, trust me, and I guarantee it, something triggered you to, and it's not about the things, and that's what you're going to find out. It's not about the scissors. It's not about the clothes. It's not about any of that. It's about you not getting something out of life. And I'll tell you something else. And again, I don't fucking know you, but sometimes when we're not successful, when we don't feel like we've achieved, I don't know how old you are, but, you know, I was supposed to be making 80 grand a year by this, but I fucking didn't do it. I was supposed to get a promotion. I was supposed to make $1 million in my business. You know, whatever your story is as men, when we were built to hunt and gather. So we're out there to fucking kill. So there are moments when we're not fulfilled because of that. Very much connected to our first chakra, which is all this worldly, tangible shit. So when we're not fulfilled, we take it home. And the way to take it home is to make sure that that person feels what you're feeling is insignificant. And I'm just reaching out here, but it's what's coming to me. Anyway, I don't know. But somewhere it did start. So please understand that something triggered, something happened. I'm not saying it was like one overnight, like, holy shit, he woke up one day, put the fucking scissors back. No, it's a progression. You'll figure it out. Beth is saying, I know all about trauma on every level. I spoke of it, lived it, and created so many stories. My life internally sucked. Andre has taught me to say fuck it and what's good about it. When I flipped that script, I became such a badass and have been able to help so many others move on. It has made me who I am, and I'm grateful. Well, it's because you're a badass and you're willing to do the fucking work. Where you'll see that some people are not willing to do the work. So the fact that you're willing to do the work, congratulations, and I'm very, very proud of you. Tasha, yes, I agree. I've been learning in this more and more. Fuck, this thing keeps moving. Starting watching the weekly videos, then some coaching, but more from a stance of watching someone else go through it, wanting to help properly guide them. You cannot guide them unless they're open, without coming off as telling them what to do. Yep, don't tell them what to do because you'll close them off more. They'll run from you. And yes, this person, and this is the same thing with earlier the question. I think it was Janet or whoever the question with my son being mean or whatever the question was. If you're coaching, if you're telling that kid what to do, what do you expect? Unless they're asking. Because when somebody asks, the door is open. The question is an open door. They say, Mommy, how do I, comb my hair? Oh, Sonny, here you go. You comb your hair like this, blah, blah. But if you go in and say, hey, your hair's not, you just need a little bit of and they're like, the fuck, I thought it was perfect. Now, Mommy just told me I'm not perfect. Fuck you, Mom. Right? So you're building this stuff. Yes, this person is at the point where they want to address it and move past it. Again, it didn't word it well, but wanting to know more, so how to guide them. Yeah, well, Tasha, because you're already doing this stuff, right? You've coached with me. You show up to these lives. They need help. They got to do something. So whether it's this, show up to this fucking, where are they? I would bring them to this Q&A session. Let them get free help. This is free freaking coaching, or YouTube, or do something. So if they're open, when somebody gets to that place where they can't breathe, they're going to do what it takes to get that next fucking breath. So I'm happy that she is there. That's huge. So her question is this: how do I begin to repair my relationship with my 18-year-old daughter? And then on the side, she sent me a DM with the explanation, and it's a deep one. Oh, but funny enough, we're getting a few sort of similar questions. Kids today, more than ever, as you guys know, are empty in a very, very different way because of social media. Social media tells them every single day that they're not enough. They have to get 4 likes on a post in order to be okay like their peer. They have to look in a certain way. They have to be this skinny and that skirt. And you got to have those shoes and you got to hang out with these people. Oh my God, you're not an influencer? What good are you? Oh my God, what these kids are being brought up in? Fuck. I mean, it's heavy, right? It's really, really heavy. So the daughter's 18. So think about the last 5 years, what social media has done to these kids, my kids as well. We've had to grow through some shit like fuck me. It's deep. It's what social media was built to eat the soul of the human being. No other reason. Trust me, no other reason. And it's working. So now you're saying, hey, my daughter's 18. All these situations are happening. I go back, these situations are happening because these kids, 18, grade, legally an adult, still your fucking baby, because on the inside, this girl, this daughter is crying for help, desperate for help, and that's still your baby, right? So, desperate for help. So can you find a way to love without coaching, without giving advice, without putting down, without, and this is the thing, as parents, we want to say, you shouldn't hang out with those people. It's not what they need to hear right now. They will get the point when they feel just a little bit more loved, just a little bit more accepted by mom. Because as long as you tell them, hey, all the shit you're doing is wrong, why the fuck would I want to talk to you? That's fucking, Miss fucking doom and gloom over there. Why would I want to listen to mom? So can you create the space where your daughter feels safe? Right now, she doesn't feel safe with you. And I don't know the circumstances. I know you sent me a thing and I read it, but I don't recall at this moment exactly the details. But humans are humans. 18-year-olds are 18-year-olds. Babies are babies. Adults are adults. We're still these emotional fucking beings that are screaming for attention. We just are. So the more void, the more emptiness, the more lack of love, then the more we're going to go look for it in other places by hanging out with the wrong people, doing drugs, getting away from mommy, because mommy is the opposite of Mommy tells me I'm wrong, but everything today makes sense because it's filling this void and I'm getting attention and these people say I'm great. And when I, do that line of cocaine or chug that beer or do that bottle of tequila, wow, am I getting respected? Wow, these people are like, whoa, good job. So now they're getting significance and they're identifying. I talk so much about significance and identity because this world is empty of it. So we look to identify and create and get significance from literally anywhere today. So your daughter is doing nothing but that. She's just like, she's suffocating in pain and she's just absorbing the wrong oxygen, but it's still oxygen because this thing is built to survive. That's it. It's built to survive. So it's going to do whatever the fuck it takes to keep this thing alive. Just another day, just another day. But when you can start, mom, you can start stacking love in here and just give her a hug and say, you know what? I'm proud of you. None of that shit matters. I'm fucking proud of you. At the age of 18, for you to have done the things that you've done. Now be careful. Well, I'm proud of these things, but not proud of those things. Don't do that. I'm just fucking proud of you. Because if you can compare your 18-year-old to other 18-year-olds out there, your daughter is fucking amazing. You know that. You'll agree with me because there are some fucked up 18-year-olds out there, right? So get rid of judgment. Focus on the solution. Focus on response as opposed to react. And find ways to love her unconditionally. And it may be tough with the circumstances, but if you can find ways to just love her and accept her and just fucking tell her how proud you are of her, because that's still your baby. She came out of you. Still your baby. You can never change that. Even though things look rough today, hard, to you, she may be doing all the wrong shit. Where were you when you were 18? What did you do? So I at 18, fuck, shit. I did some stuff. You follow me? Stuff that I don't want my girls to do. No. Right? They got their own journey. But the best thing we can do, but I did my shit at 18 because I had my voids. Daddy issues, mommy issues, all kinds of issues. So I had to fill that void. So I did shit. Nothing ever illegal. I just did stupid shit. But today, what I do with our girls, what we do with our girls, is just fucking love them. No matter what, just love them. You fucked up, a relationship problem, it's all good. What'd you learn? I'm proud of you. Love you. Hugs, kisses, travel, food. It's their fucking journey. You can't change her journey. You can love. You can give. The biggest thing she needs, these kids, the biggest thing they need today is love. If you can provide that, you'll win. If you stay in judgment thinking, so that's my answer. Go to love, over love her. See what happens. Try it for 90 days. Hold your shit, hold your tongue, don't judge her, stay in love, and watch what happens. It'll be fucking magic. All right, so Jacqueline, question. How did you build your self-love back when you weren't loved? Yeah, so great question. I was always very observant. From early on, I watched things, I caught things. I was always, I guess, energetically in tune to catch bullshit. What I mean by that is, from early on, I remember, seeing things in people, not necessarily like spirits moving and shit or possessions, just behaviors where somebody would say, do this, but then they were doing opposite. And that's just a very blanket thing. But I realized that the people that were not, let me take it back to me, because it was really me that sparked my movement of getting into reading books. So at 18, for example, got my first book, Zig Ziglar. It was about sales and money, but it's all self-development because it's who you are, right? So that started to build me up in a sense of, I was always charismatic. I was always, the life of the party, but inside, not necessarily all of that. So as I learned that how I'm treating myself, and that was the biggest thing. It's like, I'm doing this. I used to do certain behaviors where I could never allow somebody to pay for something for me, like a meal. Like back in even high school, I would have to overgive. I have to like pay for it. No, no, we're going out to eat. No, no, I got it. It's on me. It's on me. Because I needed that approval. So once I started realizing, I started hearing comments of one day, because when you give, when you overgive, people not only take you for granted, but they now don't want you around. It's a weird thing because they're feeling a manipulation in the subconscious. It's unconscious actually. There's a manipulation, a sucking, a vampirical sucking of energy. So when you overgive, people start to reject you. So one day I heard a thing. Well, we're only, this is in high school. We're only inviting Andre because he'll pay. So that just like knife in my heart, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I still went, and I still paid. But so these moments of realizing that so it's self dialogue. I didn't have, outside of certain books that I was reading, there was no YouTube. I didn't know that self-development was a thing. I didn't know that counseling was a thing. I didn't know that, oh, I can get help with this. It was just like an internal dialogue. The book, like Zig Ziglar's first book, I remember clearly, it talked about who you are and how to become your powerful self. So it was just literally a journey of starting to question, well, why am I paying for people? What the fuck do I need to do that for? And when I started getting the aha moments of, well, I'm feeling like this, and I want them to like me, and I want them to accept me, and I want, later in life, I figured out, well, it's just me wanting my daddy's attention, because I never got it in the way I thought I should get it. My dad gave it to me through his way that I'm realizing today, but when I was a kid, young, he wasn't there. But he was there in his own way. He worked, provided, did his way of doing it. He's never said, I love you. It wasn't his thing. So how did I learn to love me? Literally by, smart ass answer, by loving me, by talking to me, by figuring out why. I started asking why. Why am I doing this to get this? Why this behavior? And as I started to figure out the why, then I would fix it. I would replace it. Well, no, because that's not true. What is true is this. And again, I'm talking years, fuck. And then I got into anxiety, panic, depression. I became suicidal when I was 32. And then it just, poof, my self-development just blew up. And here we are. Now I'm just giving back to y'all. Tasha, where were you when my kids were teens? Well, still here. We just weren't connected yet. It wasn't time yet. And that's how you have to look at it. All right. So love you guys. 3:09 in the PM. I have... Shit, yeah, I got stuff to do. It's all lined up. It's all systematic. So with that said, take this information. If you know anybody struggling with anything, bring them into this group, get them on these videos, bring them into the Q&A, have them ask their questions. Like, there's so much suffering happening in the world, you guys. So much suffering. It sucks. It's a very empty, lonely place to suffer. So when people are ready, because you can't say, get into that group. You can tell stories like, hey, wow, what a great day I had. I'm a part of this thing, and bam, a Q&A, and wow, did I learn from it. And leave it there. Leave it there. If you go into, my God, you should also join the group. Then you sound like a preacher and an MLMer. Don't do that. Tell stories. Facts tell, stories sell. Cool. Love you guys. Have a phenomenal rest of your week. We'll talk soon.